Peace, peace. Happy now. Now is the vibrate, of course. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now, right now, there's a collective ego. I'm feeling like the collective ego is being worked through right now, especially for what we call quote unquote melanated people, black people. And be honest with you, all collectives. I feel like it's getting to a point where now is always the vibrate. Right now is the only thing that exists. It's now. And with that being said, now we're realizing like, all right, we are part of one organism, and how I always bring it up, just how the body works. The melanocytes in the body and the melanin in the body, not against the rest of the body, are walking around feeling like it's superior than anybody. And at the same time, it's, holding its unique space within the body, connecting with its unique individuality, and not dimming its light for the rest of the body. But it would only it would only feel the need to dim its light if the other cells in the body who had a different job was complaining like, oh, the melanocytes think they all that, you know what I'm saying? Because they, and they on the biggest organ in the body, and, the nigra substantia around the pineal gland and the neuromelanin, or pineal organ, because it secretes, it creates the DMT that it secretes. So it's not just a gland, it also creates what it secretes. So it's technically an organ. Shout out to Leala, Africa. As a matter of fact, getting to that point too, which I done talked about in other videos, about the tree aspect, and the seeds, But seeing that collective, again, I done talked about this in videos, multiple times, but it's just reoccurring strongly right now. I'm picking it up, about us, again, realizing like we all gotta, drop the unhealthy aspects of our ego. And two, to each his own. It's a free will universe. Let me start by saying that. And matter of fact, first and foremost, it's about doing, what's unique, or what you feel, in alignment, becoming in alignment with your soul, your heart, and doing what aligns with that. But for the most part, from the ancient knowledge and things of this nature, we know, like, all right, we reincarnating in order to, transition into a higher realm, so to speak. We have to release these dense energies. And I done spoke on that, like, like the whole is like, say for instance, this big, by holding on to the fact, oh, my mom died when I was 3, or I lost my basketball when I was 12, or, my wife left me, or whatever, these heavy, dense thoughts, you know what I'm saying? When you transition, that's gonna be, held on to you, and you won't be able to transition through that small hole, you know what I'm saying, if you got too much heavy, big shit on you, like, literally. That's why why the common thing in most, some people go on the extreme or flip it around and make it seem like you shouldn't deal with the material realm at all. But what detachment is just detaching, making sure that, like, none of these things within this realm own you, that, you have that sovereignty within your soul where, if you do, partake in, say for instance, eating food, or you do partake in, dealing with cannabis, or you do partake in driving a car, don't let these items and things rule you. If you do, like, wearing a certain type of clothing, you know what I'm saying, don't let these things within this realm control you. Be detached, be in the realm but not of it. And again, this is speaking, because again, to each his own on this growth. Now, of course, for the most part, yes, in this lifetime, because I don't want to play devil's advocate too much in the sense of, like, to each his own, because, nah, it's really about us raising the vibration, in the sense of, being the change we want to see and working on ourselves and being that beacon of light, you know what I'm saying? And we working out, karmic energies, and karma is not good or bad, right or wrong. It's cause and effect, and the karmic energy, you could kind of look at it, is called, it is the effect of some energies that we took some actions at certain times, and even with the ancestors' energies who are, within us and connected with us, who in essence we are, that whole aspect of oh look, see, so trying to pull it all in. Uh, working out those heavy energies, in order to become lighter. And as we, work out these energies, like break these certain trends of falling into the vibe of feeling like, oh, all our people in our family catch cancer all the time. You break that trend. You break, the trend of drug abuse, or, or domestic violence, or whatever, and then when you bring your seed into this realm, because the seeds is a form of immortality as well, you know what I'm saying? When you think about it, my bodysuit, in essence, always had a lineage or some type of connection, you know what I'm saying? Like, a mama's grandmother, great grand, you know what I'm saying? Like, just non-stop, spitting out, a seed, spitting out. And now we cleaning up that energy. And again, that's why it's not necessarily about, first and foremost is about, going within, realizing ye are God's children of the Most High. You are, you know, and there's levels to it. Of course, within this, again, this is a dream realm, say it how you want, fake realm, dream realm, holographic realm, which is a pretty good way of, saying it too, and, you're not trying to, again, necessarily, head first try to save this realm as much as you're trying to, you're a walking universe, you're a walking realm or world, hence the Taurus field, has like a tornado or like a whirl, And shout out to Dan Winters was speaking on that too, about like how tornadoes only hit like trailer parks and not like the pyramids or ancient monuments, because of the golden mean ratio that's connected with, the symmetry and the measurements on these places. But anyway, but we are our own walking world, so it's about saving our inner world. And as we save our inner world, again, being that beacon of light, because that was part of, again, that's magic with creating a person, a being named Jesus, for people to follow outside their body. The letter J didn't exist in those times for a person to even be named that. And plus, check out the book 16 Crucified Saviors by Cursed Graves. It's just one quick book that kind of sums it all up, with the stories. But, it's about being that beacon of light, you know what I'm saying? Like the North Star, in essence, and the North Star connected with the Big Dipper and, in the celestial ship of the North, the ship of the North, you know what I'm saying? And those primordial waters, and the Big Dipper has those 7 stars, and the Draco constellation is right there. Hence the old reptilian women spoken of in Robert Morningsky, however you say, rendition, or let me say, or interpretation or expression of the Enki and Lil story, in the Terra Papers. You could go look that up, on YouTube. But, again, it's about going within, and also, again, it's changing the way, it's our mind, in essence, that is the governing force, in essence, of changing this, the matter within this realm. Now, of course, we want to be guided by, by, again, alignment with, our inner soul or source, or our heart chakra. We want to be in alignment with our heart chakra and our inner being. But of course, we do use those thoughts of visualizations, in order, in order to create certain things within this realm. So with that whole aspect, and again, that's reference to the Ark of the Covenant. That has multiple meanings, of course, Ark of the Covenant. But the Philosopher's Stone, or the stone that the builder refused, the star that David used to knock down Goliath. Goliath kind of looked at it as like the lower nature, or that you know uh, the hindering aspect of the ego. You know what I'm saying? But again, it exists on a basic level. Cause just like a cell in the body, the cells in the body got just a healthy enough ego to maintain a space as a cell in the body. Cause if all cells in the body right now just say, oh, we're all one, and just, you know, all of a sudden, just went on some like, just leave the bodysuit vibe or whatever out of the blue, then the whole body just, you know what I'm saying? And of course, that's part of our being as well. The being the no thing and being from the void, you know. But again, and realizing it's all layers, Like, yes, it's the no thing, and being of the no thing allows for you to be tapped into being everything, like the food card, or like, what I call Forrest Gump magic. Forrest Gump experiencing and learning and expanding due to the fact that he was, what some people call dumb, but he didn't have no previous knowledge of anything that he stepped into. Like he ain't never played football before he played football. He ain't never, played ping pong before he played ping pong. First time in the army. You know what I'm saying? Like, never put a gun together, but knew how to put a gun. You know what I'm saying? Just that empty canvas, And that's also the story of, like, in essence, one of the allegories within the tree of life, or the tree of knowledge aspect, which the trickle down from the triple darkness, and what we and our whole everyday life tells, again, the macrocosm, or the whole story, is being told in the smaller parts, and everything that happens in this realm. Shout out to Seven Bomar on bringing up that aspect about, like, a bird that eats seeds, of a story talking about a bird that eats seeds. The seed is like, like the child, or like, in essence, the fruit, but more so like the child, and the seed in that essence, and a bird eating a seed could be like like an angle of light, or an angel, or, or some type of being, you know what I'm saying, swooping down to grab that child, in essence, but the whole aspect, what was I? Oh, the triple darkness, and again, how the whole story is in the smaller story. Our mom goes through 3 trimesters, you know what I'm saying, and the whole aspect is, and that's why the mother aspect, again, Mount Meru, or the tree, and that's why, Norse mythology got like the tree, you know what I'm saying, Asgard, Midgard, and all that, That's reference from, ancient mythology, and the connection with the tree, and again, we also going through this situation almost like, matter of fact, with my little notes, I had my notes right here. We also going through the situation like Doctor Strange. If y'all haven't watched the movie, I'll speak on it, but from the Infinity Gauntlet, with Thanos, that movie there, and Doctor Strange, went through all different dimensions and times to see if it was a way for them to beat Thanos. And he was like, man, I went over, like, I don't know, just to say a number, like over 1 million different realities, and there was only one that worked, where we was able to, win, or, come back. And in essence, that's what we're dealing with now, and the whole aspect of time travel, tapping into the now, because now is the only way to time travel, and there's no coincidence that, again, we feel in our most spiritually aligned is when we're in the moment, chakras aligned, heart chakra open, pineal gland popping, you know what I'm saying? And you got the lower intuition, aka the gut, cleaned out. So it's, got the intuition popping on that level, but and excuse me, y'all. Look, I just smoked me a little herb, but this was, something. Again, I'm feeling it come through the ethers. I'm just, speaking on all these aspects, and again about us. Again, to each his own on your growth, as far as like what you feel, like as you resonate with your soul. Because another thing too, the zombie aspect coming up as well a lot, and how the ego, in the lower vibrational form of it, I have people like in this zombie-like mode, and hold on a second, and and I see it within, within my realm of like, like also with the moon cycles, like the moon cycles working even stronger and stronger, those full moons, activating, those little parasites, parasites get active whenever that, that full moon, because they could, they feel that energy, you know, and that's the whole aspect, is, clean, being as clear and connected as possible